All right, welcome to this video here where I would like to show you a different kind of puzzle and how to solve it. And so this is called a KenKen, and we're going to be taking a look at how to solve it. Now, I've also seen the name a Clacudoku. Okay, you might have heard that before. It's one that I've seen as well, but I'm going to use the term KenKen in how to solve in this type of puzzle. Now, I'm going to go with a very basic puzzle here and go through the steps on how to solve it. As you get more complicated puzzles, it just takes a little bit more work in order to solve. But I'm going to go through the basics of a simple 3x3 puzzle. Now, a KenKen is going to use numbers based on the size. This 3x3 KenKen will use the numbers 1 to 3 in each row and each column. So you'll notice there I've highlighted the row in red. Those three boxes must have the numbers 1, 2, and 3. No repeats. Okay, so you can't have two ones or two twos. You can't use a 7. No, you have to use the numbers 1 to 3, but not necessarily in that order. Same thing with the columns. So each column must also have the numbers 1, 2, and 3 in order to solve this here. Again, order of that doesn't matter, but it does matter where it does matter that each one is there once. Now, the other thing that a KenKen has is it has these kind of bolded boxes. And so if I kind of highlight those in purple, you'll see them listed there. So each one of those boxes is highlighted, kind of bolded with a border. And it's not necessarily just two, it could be 3 pieces, or it could be even more, depending on how complicated these get. Each one of these has a little clue in the top left corner. So the first one there on the top left has a 1 minus. It means that the two numbers must subtract in order to come up with 1. So it could be 1 and 2, or it could be 3 and 2. Okay, either one. One of those has to be a 2 apparently. But that's how we're going to come up with those two numbers. Now, you'll see there's kind of 3 boxes that make up that little L. Okay, there we go, that little L. They have to add up to 5. So we have to find 3 numbers that add up to 5. Now, those 3 numbers, there could be 2 of the same. If you look at the top box and the left box, they're not in the same row or the same column. So we could do both of those as a 1, and then the third box is a 3. Or both as a 2, and the third box is a 1. So that's something that would work out in a case like that. And finally, there's one there that has 6 times. Okay, that one means that those two numbers multiply to get 6. Well, we know then that they have to be 2 and 3, because those are only two numbers that multiply to get 6 and are within 1 to 3. So those have to be 2 and 3. We don't know which one yet, but we know that they would have to be 2 and 3. Now, be aware the order of the numbers in the small boxes doesn't matter. So therefore, you could have a 2 first and then a 3, or a 3 first and then a 2. Again, you're just subtracting the 2 or you're adding the 2. The order is not going to matter in this case here. So that's how you solve a KenKen. Here's just another example of one that you might see as well. This one's going to use the numbers 1 to 4 in order to solve. And again, the one thing that's different here is that they have a 2/. That means those two numbers divide to get 2. Here's what a solution would look like when we look at the KenKen. And so you'll notice that a 2/ could be 2 and 1, or could be 4 and 2. Again, the order doesn't matter that you put them in, as long as those two numbers divide to get 2. And that's what we're looking for. Eliminate certain numbers by figuring out which values go in there, okay, and hopefully it'll help you to solve these types of problems. That's the KenKen. I hope that that's helped you. I hope that you can have fun with these puzzles. I think they're great. I think they're a really good brain challenge, and I hope that they work for you as well. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of the day.